Hey there, this is Real Talk Baseball on Carlos Baseball. With me as always, it's Ernie Orange. We have a great show for you guys today, but before we get started, happy Father's Day to everybody out there. We didn't get on yesterday, but we have to celebrate, right, Ernie?
That is right. It was a huge blockbuster trade in the game of baseball yesterday. A lot of fathers were very disappointed if you're a Red Sox fan. A big star player like Rafi Devers gets traded to the Giants, was big shocking news to the MLB world. But we're here at Real Talk Baseball this early morning, ready to talk ball.
Not only that, dude, Shohei Ohtani is gonna pitch. When was the last time you heard that? It
Oh
was still
man, we've been waiting for this day for a very long time. I think ever since he got signed for that $700 million deal with the Dodgers, we've been ready for him to pitch, and it's the time has finally come. The guy's ready to go. He's been anxious. He sees the issues with the pitching, and he's ready to go out there and deliver for the Dodgers.
yeah, he is, dude, big time. All right, let's talk about Devers, dude. Devers to the Giants. Where were you when you heard the news? I think everybody was surprised that this happened. Everybody was trying to watch the Dodger Giant series, and it doesn't have the same oomph like it does with the Padres Dodgers, right? This rivalry goes back from all the way to New York times, and it doesn't have it, dude. But yesterday, that trade, it's like a bomb. So it kind of reignited that rivalry, dude. That the Dodger Giants need. And I mean, what were you doing when you heard it, dude?
Well, I was driving and I couldn't believe what I had just saw. I had literally had to stop on the red light and be like, "Wait, I have to read this one more time. This cannot be true. How could a guy like Rafi Devers get traded in the middle of the season? It's not even the trade deadline, and you already just went ahead and swept the Yankees over the weekend. The Red Sox team was playing great baseball right now, and looks like management was over Devers' attitude, and it was like time to ship him out.
Yeah.
And they found a team willing to pay his contract. This is a big shocker, man. This is a big blockbuster trade that we haven't seen in the game of baseball in a very long time.
Yeah.
We just recently had one with basketball with Luka Doncic, but now today, seeing a star-studded 28-year-old DH like Rafael Devers being traded to the San Francisco Giants is just one of the biggest trades we could have ever thought. Think about it. Are the Red Sox dumb for making this trade? I know there was some beef between the both of them. They were really liking what had happened. Everything was planning out. Was this the right move for the Red Sox, though?
Dude, it's just we've been talking about how the Red Sox kind of did Devers dirty, and them not taking that approach when they signed Bregman. That was at the beginning of the season. Remember that, and that's the problem that they had. So I'm pretty sure they had little beef here and there because Devers wants to play third base. He wants to play third base. He doesn't just want to stay out being DH. So Buster Posey called the Red Sox or the other way around, and it was like, hey, you know what? Chapman is probably more injured than what we think he is. We need to give Chapman a little bit of more time at DH so he can, get better and play third base because he is a Gold Glove. Now, reaching out to the Red Sox and letting them know, like, we'll let Devers play third base. We'll take him. So I think Chapman injury is more. It's a little bit more worse than what people are making it to seem. So that's why I think they went after him, taking the whole contract. Remember, we said the Giants do have money for that. They have the money to sign big time players. Now, do you put them into that lineup, dude? The Giants are not known to have big star players since 10 years now. Like I don't
Barry
think we've seen it.
Bonds? They
Is
haven't
it
had a
Barry?
guy hit 30 home runs since Barry Bonds.
No, no. So I just think that that's good for the Giants and reigniting this rivalry with the Dodgers. I think it's coming, dude. It's coming. And when we see Devers, we're gonna boo him out here in LA, dude. And that's how the rivalries happen. But it's more, I think it's just a little bit more deeper than that. We've been saying that the Red Sox and Devers are kind of like going at it, even though the media is making it seem like they're okay. Nah, there's more to it, dude. So yeah, man, I like the trade. It was really like, it's, I don't know if it's surprising or shocked. I think I was shocked when I saw that because I was even looking at it. I think every baseball fan is shocked that it happened, dude, because it just came out of left field.
It really did. We were all busy celebrating Father's Day, and it just came out of nowhere. The news dropped, and honestly, a lot of fathers couldn't believe it. But I think Tony Snap here brings a great point. I mean, I think Devers just didn't want to play first base for the Red Sox, and I think that the Red Sox were desperately asking him, "We really need you to play first base. We're struggling big time, and we need your support on the defense. And we cannot continue paying you $300 million for you just to be a DH." Now, Devers took it personal. You know,
Mhm.
he was like, you benched me to be a DH, and now you want me to go help? Screw you guys. So there was already that bad relationship between both of those, like the team and ownership. So I think it is the right move. It was time. We had mentioned in like a couple months ago, it was time to trade him. I mean,
Yeah.
you already had brought in Alex Bregman. You have Marcelo Meyer playing third base right now for the Bregman injury, and he's looking promising. He looks like a great infielder. Looks like he's going to be the bright prospect for this Red Sox organization. And I think they're ready to start fresh. But it just really shocks me that you go ahead and sweep the Yankees. You beat them the series the weekend before,
Yeah.
and now you're only like 5-6 games back of the division, and you ship them out, which was a huge surprise to me. But hey, man, I think this Red Sox team knows that they have enough prospects to compete, and they got a lot of pitching back in return. They did receive a young lefty prospect like Kyle Harrison that has good stuff. He got sent to AAA. They got Jordan Hicks, the flamethrower, for 100 miles. Another
Mhm.
guy that could help out in the bullpen. I think this Red Sox team is just boosting their pitching and trying to like have as many pitchers as possible, which
True.
is great because
True.
these arms continue to fall off, and it's always better to have more arms than not have any. That's the Dodgers right now.
Dude, this trade leaves Boston fans furious. Why? Because it's happened before with Mookie Betts, now Devers, and it seems like what direction are they taking? Where are they going with this trade? Are they trying to improve their roster for the future, or are they trying to improve their roster for right now? And this is where the crazy thing is at, dude. It's where we feel like, okay, the Red Sox still have a good team. You know, even with Devers out of there, because he was disgruntled. Remember, he wasn't happy, but he was still playing ball. Once Alex Bregman come back, I think the Red Sox are going to be okay. I think they're still going
Yeah.
to battle and they're still going to try to win the division, probably possibly even the wild card. But who knows what happens, right? But it's just shocking now for the Giants. For the Giants, dude, freaking fans are happy,
Hell yeah.
super
I
happy
would
to a
too.
point. Yeah, super happy to a point where we're reigniting this rivalry. This is our rivalry with the Dodgers. Forget the Padre Dodgers series. Forget the rivalry they have going. Let's reignite this. Let's get it going. I wasn't thinking about that rivalry even when they were playing against them, dude. They played on Friday. The Giants beat the Dodgers, right? And then Dodgers came back and beat the crap out of them on Saturday. And then yesterday was a pretty close one. And yesterday had a different meaning because of
Yeah.
that trade, dude. So I mean, I don't know. Like you're looking from the outside in. What rivalry right now is the it? It's the one that you're like, oh, I need to see this. The Dodger Padre or Dodger Giants?
Well, the Dodger Padre has been an exciting one for the past couple seasons, right? But the way the Padres are just so inconsistent, and you always know that Dodgers just always find a way to beat them. It's just like it's still that rivalry that is really forming. But like you said, that Dodger Giant rivalry is something bigger than we could ever talk about. You know, they go way back to the East Coast days in New York, like you had mentioned before. There's a rivalry that's gonna last forever, and now you bring in Rafael Devers, a 28-year-old superstar that's gonna take this team to places now, Carlos, because this guy is a beast. He's gonna be
Yeah,
a future Hall of Famer, and you add him with Willie Adames. Buster Posey's doing great things for this organization. Ever since he joined the president of baseball ops, he said, "I'm gonna change this franchise, and we're gonna go back to our winning ways." And he
yeah,
surely is doing that because you got to think about it. Before Buster Posey, they missed out on some big free agencies. Remember that Arson Judge? They didn't get him. They
mm-mm.
went after Shohei Ohtani. They missed out. They went after Carlos Correa. They missed out too. They struck out swinging 3 times for 3-star players, and they're finally able to make a trade. And they have the money to spend. And they said, we're bringing in Rafael Devers to pair up with Willie Adames, Matt Chapman, and we have some pitching here and there that, like Justin Verlander and Robbie Ray. I mean, they still got some promising things going on for them, and they could still make a deep run. And as long as they can compete with the Dodgers, this is going to be a better rivalry going forward.
Just want to give a shout out right quick to Will. How's it going, Will? Snap, Neto, thank you guys for being on here. Will is saying that's one of the worst parks to hit a home run, but he is a lefty, so that right field is not that far, so he'll be able to hit it out and hit into the splash zone. So you think the Red Sox did this on purpose? Yeah, they dumped their salary and they found a team that's willing to take that salary, and the Giants took it. They're better for it. The Red Sox now have to suffer the consequences of their fans being angry at them again. So I just feel like that's where it's the divided. But if you think that's the reason they send them
Mm.
out there, I mean, that's
Well,
crazy.
I just want to mention that Rafael Devers does have 33 extra base hits in Oracle Park. He's been killing it out there. He's known to play well there. And I think the Giants saw that, and it was like, why not have him in our team if he's going to perform that way when he comes over?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some players just play better in certain ballparks, and
Yeah.
certain dimensions doesn't matter sometimes. These guys just love probably the weather. Maybe Rafael Devers is kind of a cool weather type guy and doesn't like the cold weather that Boston brings. How about that?
A change of scenery always. Oh, I can't wait for that. As a baseball fan, I can't wait for that. But as a Dodger fan, I'm not waiting for that because that sucks. Like that's gonna be suck. It's gonna suck if he terrorizes the Dodgers, which I know he's probably gonna do because that rivalry is there. So yeah, man. Anything else you want to add before we move to the next one? Because I still have a lot to talk about because this is like you just said one of the biggest trades in current history. You know, like it's not like
when's the last one? When's the last big trade we've had like this?
Mookie Betts.
That you can remember.
Yeah,
but was that in the middle of the season?
That was at the beginning of the season. This is middle of the season. Yeah, you're right.
Middle.
That's true. That's true.
That was not the trade deadline. Because
that's why it's so shocking. That's why it's so shocking.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Anything else, man?
Well, I just want to say the Giants made a big splash, a big win for their franchise. And I think this is only going to solidify them as a playoff contention for the next 10, 15 years. Because Buster Posey ain't playing around. And he's going to bring this Giants organization up top. And he's going to be competing with this Dodger team going forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is good for baseball. We need it.
It is. It is good for baseball. It's super big for baseball. All right. The next news, and this team couldn't stay quiet without putting a splash of their own out there. Shohei Ohtani making his first career start in a Dodger uniform.
Let's go.
This came after, Devers trade and everybody was shocked. And then they dropped this. Dave Roberts said Shohei Ohtani's pitching tomorrow. What the heck? What's going on? Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's see it. Let's see that game. And he's pitching against the Padres.
Let's go.
Yeah. So where were you when you heard this news?
Well, this one, I was at home. I couldn't believe it. I thought he was not. Dave Roberts had mentioned he was going to pitch until July. Now he drops a bomb on us and says he's pitching tomorrow. Only 1 or 2 innings. Remind yourself, the reason why Ohtani could only pitch 1 or 2 innings is going to be kind of like a bullpen session where most pitchers usually get a chance to pitch in AAA, try to find their way. But since Ohtani is a great DH hitter and is a two-way player, he doesn't have that flexibility of going to AAA and coming back. So this is the main reason why Dave Roberts is giving him 1 or 2 innings to work with and just to see how to get a feel for it. But I'm excited. I mean, you're talking about this guy got paid $700 million because he was a pitcher. Well, now is his time to prove it. He has some nasty stuff. He has some great off speed, some great 100-mile fastball. I'm kind of curious to see where that fastball is going to be at now. And I'm excited to see this 1 or 2 innings of Ohtani. I think it's great for baseball. Now, do I expect him to have a great start? Probably not. Because Ohtani, he kind of always, he's great under pressure. But when it comes to pitching, he's not the same as when he's a hitter. He does panic a little bit, and he could get off, he could get off his game a little bit. Being an Angel fan, I've seen him time and time again, how he would just get into some hot streak in pitching, or then he would just go really cold out of nowhere. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I'm just excited to see the guy in the mound. It's just great for baseball. I mean, he is that best two-way player we've been talking about for years. He now finally gets to do it in a Dodger uniform and showcase why he's the best player in baseball. What are you expecting from Ohtani tonight?
To be honest, he's just going to be working his fastball and getting his location and calming his nerves down. Like, that's why they're putting him out there. Like you said, 1 or 2 innings. And he can't go down to the AAA because then they need him as a hitter up here. Now, another thing that I'm saying, and I'm thinking, we had this show last week or 2 weeks ago, Ernie, that we said that the Dodgers starting rotation is in trouble. Because now you're hearing things about Sasaki getting injured, might have surgery on his shoulder. So this is where you start panicking. Are they just throwing him out there because we have no starting pitching? We don't know where Snell is at. We don't know where Glasnow is at. So all these things come into mind, and we had a lot of people saying and telling us in the comments when we put the video on TikTok, stop panicking. It's still June. It's because it's June we're panicking. It's not because it's the beginning of the season. No, it's June. We're hitting July. Trading deadline is there. Where are our starting pitchers? If those starting pitchers are not ready to go, are you going to make a trade? They're looking at Alcantara now because he's one of the rumors that the Dodgers have been linked to, talking to. So that's where you start and that's where you stand. So all these Dodger fans saying that we shouldn't panic, we shouldn't do this. No, it's panic time because the Dodgers are not going to win a World Series if we freaking have the bullpen pitch from here on out. And I mean, we've been talking about that, right?
Yeah, I mean, but you got to compare yourself to last year's bullpen. The reason why last year's bullpen was able to win it for the Dodgers is just they were immaculate. They were perfect. You had that 7th, 8th, 9th guy that was just shutting it out. But this year, it don't look the same. Alex Vesia is not the same guy. Anthony Banda just got overhyped by all these women. Um, you got all these guys. Kirby Yates looks a little bit past their prime. Times have changed. That bullpen is no longer the same. Tanner Scott's been kind of shaky. He looked great yesterday, but you don't know what you're going to get from the guy. And we got Snap saying, just say relax. I mean, it's only June. Just breathe. Ohtani's going to be the savior. Is he going to be the savior? I mean, I hope he can stay healthy. We want the best for him because we want to see the best player in the baseball. But, man, it's kind of scary, if you ask me, because it's June and you almost have 14 pitchers in the IL, and that's not great for baseball.
So now you're posing and you're asking, are we going to have a 6-man rotation versus a 5-man rotation? Because now you're looking at Yamamoto, his ERA on 5-day rest, he's not getting enough. I guess he's not getting enough rest, so his ERA is inflated. It's at 3.48, and you're looking when he pitches 6-day rest, he has a 0.98 ERA. So that's a huge difference. Now, you want your ace to pitch good, you rest him 6 days. You want him to not pitch all that great, which is still in MLB standards. He's still pitching good baseball, but not to what we know what he can do. So this is where all those questions start coming up. This is where Dave Roberts is the manager. He's making the calls, and the fans are going to not agree with what he thinks or what he does. But this is where you need to kind of understand that the general manager is looking to try to make some trades. Are we going to get another injured pitcher on Alcantara? Like, I don't know, man. We knew that these players were injured, like Glasnow and Snell. You brought them in, and that's they're in the IL. So it's just a lot of questions that need to be answered. And it's only June, but trading deadline's coming. You need to know what you're going to do. Now, with that said, you're looking at the division. You have the Giants when no one thought that they were going to win or try to be in that mix. You have the Padres, which you have a year that they make it to playoffs, a year they don't, every year they do and they don't. So this year, if the calendar treats it right, it seems that they're not going to make the playoffs, right? Because they go 1 year yes, 1 year no. Maybe they'll break that. We don't know, but it's just crazy, dude. Tony, I know you're probably like, you're panicking too much. Like, no, it's time to panic. It's time to panic if you're a Dodger fan because you need pitching, and the lineup is correct. It's fine. It's just starting pitching for me is where it's crazy. But I'm excited, dude. I'm excited to see Ohtani. Like it's all that stuff that we just talked about. But I'm excited to see him in the Dodger blue, in that mound. I don't know if he's going to reach that 100-mile-per-hour fastball. You think that's going to happen?
I think he still got it. I mean, you saw that when he was working out with the team, how the team was just watching him pitch. They were just amazed of all the nasty stuff he has. And, Tony Snap saying you're always negative, man. You're negative about your team. You got to be positive. You got to be like every other Dodger fan, Carlos. Just claiming you're going to win the World Series every year,
I can't do that. I'm not like that, man. You know why? I just respect the game too much to where I see it. I don't know. Maybe I see it different than a lot of people, but I just look at what we have, and that is a concern. I saw what the Giants have, that they have a good pitching staff. That's what it's been keeping them in the game. They went and got that bat. We'll see what happens. And then the Padres, I mean, they have everything to win the World Series, and they just can't get it together. I don't know what it is out there, but that's going to be fun. And then you have the D-backs, dude. They're only 4.5 back. They've been playing good baseball. I think it's 5.5. Sorry, 5.5 now. But they're still playing good baseball.
They're sneaky good, and their offense could take off any moment. They've just been having some bullpen issues, but once they get that fixed, it's like, man, they could just catch up and get streaky like they did in 2023.
Yeah, true. Neto saying Rockies number 1. What division do they play in, actually? Oh, the West.
Hey, man, they've been playing pretty good. I mean, they won their first series against the Marlins, and they are at 14 wins now.
Yeah.
14 wins and 57 losses. I mean, it's not great, but they did have a walk-off this week, which give them props. They're trying their best out there at what they've got, with what they got.
Yeah. They were what they got. That's true. That's true. All right, man. Anything else that we need to throw into the mix of this Shohei pitching today, the rivalries and everything that's going on in baseball? I think this is the biggest news in baseball. So we needed to cover it. We needed to get on.
Man,
we didn't get on yesterday, right?
I'm excited for that Tatis Ohtani that matchup. I need to see it. Must watch TV. Must be plugged into your TV at 7:05, 7:10, whatever time this game starts. We got to be plugged in.
That could be a WBC matchup as well. If you think about it, Japan versus República Dominicana. So that's a sneak peek. I know Tatis hasn't been hitting all that great, but
he slowed down a lot. He definitely did.
But he comes to LA and it sparks it back up. I hate those type of players. They always do it against the Dodgers. They spark up against them, and that's every team. And I mean, come on, you don't expect anything less because the Dodgers are the best team on paper. And if you're the opposing player and opposing team, you're going to try to come in and beat them up. You have teams that already did. You have the Nationals that beat them 2 out of 3 out there in Washington, and you have the A's that came in here and beat the crap out of them. So you have these teams that are eager to play. And you can't take your foot off that pedal. You have to continue going. But yeah, man. Neto's asking about the Cubs. Best team in the league? I don't know. Do you think it's the best team in the league?
They're playing great. I could give them that. And they are a playoff contender. They're going to be in there. Now, I think they just got a little bit of question marks for that pitching. And I think time and time again, like Shota Imanaga being out with that hamstring injury, I think he's missing out. Justin Steele being out for the year. Offensively, they've been doing great. I mean, Kyle Tucker's been that spark. Dansby Swanson, is okay. And then Nico Horner, it's also, they got a lot of okay players. But Kyle Tucker's definitely giving them that spark they need. And that's going to be another major question going into the offseason. How much is you going to be willing to pay Kyle Tucker? Because he's going to be the next $400 million guy. And he's very much deserving. And he's definitely changed the culture in Chicago. So are they going to be willing to spend the money? And Chicago Cubs, if you know your history, they're not known to be winners. So they need to bring a guy like Tucker that could change that environment and bring a winning culture back to Chicago.
True. Before that happens, though, Ernie, before they go ahead and talk about contracts, do you think that they're going to make a big splash in the trading deadline? Because it seems like they're putting all their ships in. And this is where they're going at it. And they're saying, this is where we're going to go. And this is how we're going to do it this year. We're going to go for it. Right?
I definitely do. I mean, they definitely think they need to make some moves looked into pitching. I know they were in the Alcantara talks as well. I'm not sure how much prospects they have to give up for him, but they desperately need to look for some pitching. I mean, they don't really have much options out there right now. I think they got Colin Rea, Matthew Boyd. They got names, guys that are performing pretty well, but I'm not sure how much they can make a difference in the playoffs. And that's why I think the Cubs definitely need to desperately make a move. And bringing in Craig Counsell as their manager is not only going to solidify them because they pay big money to bring him, and he wants to win too. So I know he wasn't very happy seeing the Brewers beat him in the division after he left the team.
That's true. Yeah, because he just pretty much left without telling the organization. And remember, David Ross was the manager at the time. They didn't even tell him that they were looking for another manager. I think the news went out that Craig Counsell was going to sign with the Cubs, and that's how David Ross found out. That's crazy, right?
That is true. We got Kevin Mote in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. He says, yes, the Cubs are going for it. They have some young guys to trade. Kevin, let us know who we got. He's a prospect guy. Kevin always bringing the hot prospects for us. Matt Shaw is in the mix, but I think they're going to call him up. He has to come and play in the second half. He's saying Carlos has to trade Devers now in fantasy league. Can't have a giant on your team. Ooh, I don't know about that.
Hey,
Carlos.
Dude, Kevin, I agree with you, but fantasy's different. I hate fantasy baseball sometimes, dude, because you have a player on your team and it's playing against let's say the Dodgers, and you're like, shit, I want him to get a hit, but I don't want the Dodgers to lose. That's where I'm at now that he's with the Giants. It's like, damn. I know you want to trade, Kevin. I know you want to trade. So.
At this point, you're like, if Rafael Devers is going to hit a home run, go ahead and hit one, but hit a solo shot. Make sure no 2-3 run bomb. You know what I mean? Be nice to me.
Yeah, be nice to me. I have you on my fantasy team if you're listening. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's always fun when everybody's talking on the chat. I really love it. If you guys have any more questions, or you guys have anything else that we can talk about, put it on here. This is what it's for. We love going on live because this is how we get engagement and we get that baseball, talking points too. So yeah, we just finished talking about the Cubs. There's another team, the Tigers. The Tigers looking great. They're still playing good baseball. They're still the best team in MLB. Neto, they're the team that we didn't talk about at the beginning of the season. So, do you think this is going to stop here, or is it going to continue, Ernie, for the Tigers?
Oh, it's gonna continue. They're built for the future. I think they have what it takes to go deep this year. I think they're the heavily favored team to come out of the American League right now. This Yankee team is also very promising, but they could always choke.
Yeah.
And this is a big concern. I mean, they still see this weekend getting swept by the Red Sox. They have underperformed when they play top caliber teams, while the Tigers have not backed down. They have proven time and time again. They have the Cy Young, Tarek Skubal, just killing it every time he's out there in the mound. Jack Flaherty's giving them some innings to eat. They do have some guys out right now like Reese Olson, Jackson Jovi that they did lose for the year, which is a big loss for them. But they definitely have the offense to provide for them. You've had a resurgence from Javi Baez, who's found his bat again. Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter that should be all-stars this year. They just continue to play great baseball, and I don't see AJ Finch just hasn't played great baseball. And that's, I think, why he's one of the greatest managers that we've had in this decade. Even though he had that Astros scandal, he was able to transform another team to a good team. Yeah. Look what he did with the Astros, and look what he's doing with the Tigers now. So that's amazing.
That's amazing in itself, dude. Like, because you look at the Tigers team, and we talked about it last time where we were picking, all-star players, and some of these players from the Tigers are not really that well known if you're not into baseball. But I feel like maybe what's going to happen with the Tigers is they're going to lose a little steam, but they are going to win that division because you see the Twins picking it up. You see the Guardians picking it up when, here and there. So the Kansas City Royals, you see them playing good baseball, and then they fall off. So
they've just been a bit inconsistent, yeah.
Yeah, inconsistency. So Tigers have been consistent throughout. That's why they're still in first. That's why they have the best record in baseball. But I do see them making a splash as well. I do see them making trades. The Guardians, I've always seen, and I've always felt they always had that pitching. It's just, for me, like, none of those teams want to spend money, and that's the difference right now, that they're not spending money, and that's where, the Tigers can take off with it. And we've said that the Central Division, the AL Central, is not as strong as other divisions, but this proves different because they're beating up on other teams. They're beating up on the West teams. They're beating up on the teams in the AL East. So it's a possible a strong division for you.
Oh, definitely is. It's a division that doesn't really spend a lot of money. They don't go for big splashes. They find great players that could underpay. That's why you're right. I think the team that does spend the most money this trade deadline is going to come up top. And I mean, obviously the Tigers are going to win the division now. There's no way none of these other teams are going to overtake them with their inconsistencies. But this Tiger team is just built to win, while the Guardians and Royals consistently just get hot and cold. They're very streaky, and it's just haven't seen that spark that we need from both teams. We definitely thought the Guardians would come back, but they also traded a star first baseman like Josh Naylor. The Royals offense hasn't been there this year. They had to bring up their rookie, Jack Caglione, to be a spark for them. Chris Bubik has been great, but then Cole Reagans hasn't been the same this year. So it's just inconsistency for me. We got Kevin Moda saying that the Tigers may also have lost Will Best, which is a huge blow to their bullpen because he is a great closer for them. Looks like they have another option. Tommy Canley is also there with the nastiest changeup in the game. So I think he's going to have to step up and take that closer role. And they're probably going to have to take somebody from the trade deadline because there's going to be a lot of bullpen arms available.
It's probably the problem with Canley, though. He throws that changeup and then he changes it up with that fastball. And that's where they get to him. If he throws that changeup all game, he's fine to be a closer. I just wanted to put that out there. Trevor Hoffman was known for his changeup, and he did, wonders. So maybe this guy, if he gets that closer rule for the Detroit Tigers, I think he'll be all right. And he's already good. It's just, he just needs to work on that changeup consistently and just throw it throughout the whole game, so and let's go to the West, dude. The American League West, the Astros on top again. And is this surprising to you? And is this surprising to the whole MLB world because everybody's talking about how the Astros are doing it. How are they getting there? And this is, I mean, we've been calling it, dude. We've been saying the Astros are going to Astro. They're going to play good baseball. Are you surprised by that?
I really am. I just continue to be like surprised every single year by this Astros team. There's no way you let Alex Bremen go. You let Kyle Tucker go. Jordan Alvarez has been in the aisle for most part of the season, and you're 11 games above 500. Their record is 41-30 right now, Carlos. When you look at this in paper, this is not supposed to go this way. You're supposed to be 11 games under 500. And somehow these guys have just sparked it up. Isaac Paredes, Jeremy Pena has been carrying this team. Their pitching, Framber Valdez continues to prove why he's that true ace. And a lot of their arms are banged up. It is wild to me. I look at this Astro team and I'm just like, what the heck do they do to win these games? Because they continue to improve. You got young star-studded players like Pena just looking great. Yanier Diaz, consistent here and there, but they get what they need from him at the catcher position at first base. Man, if you want to look at how to produce a team, a winning culture, look at the Astros. It's just as much as we hate them. We got the chat saying they're cheating again. That's what the Astros do. How true is that, Carlos? Because, I mean, like you said, this is not supposed to go this way. When you lose all these star-studded players.
You're not. And this is where I feel like the Astros are doing, I guess they changed their culture from single A ball all the way up to the Major League Baseball team. And what I mean by that is like the same thing that we talked about Dave Roberts, how he changes the culture in the Dodgers organization. So the Astros have that same approach now. I don't know if you guys remember in 2016, Sport Illustrated had the Astros becoming one of the top organizations because they changed their mindset. They changed how they do things in Astro baseball. So I would love to see like something where we get to see how they coach and how they manage these players from all the way down there to the major leagues like they did with the Red Sox. That's something impressive because that'll bring a lot more fans to the game. And of course, that cheating scandal in 2017, we will probably understand it a little bit way more because this team has been, one of the top since then, since that 2016. They've been on the run. They've been going to the ALCS for 7-8 years. It seems like. I think last year was the first year they missed.
Yes.
So now this year they're going at it again. And would you be surprised if they make it to the ALCS? The way
Not at all.
No, like you're building this winning culture, and whatever they're doing is working for them. They were the top organization on changing this thing. The Dodgers are another one that changed their way of thinking. Now the team that is not benefiting from the Astros being good is the Yankees, dude, because they're still thinking the old way. They're still trying to do that Yankees baseball, and I don't know what it is, but these other two organizations found whatever it's working for them, and they're beating up on all these teams. So that's pretty crazy, dude.
That's awesome. They just had a lot of success. They continue to prove why they're the best in the AOS. I mean, the Mariner team has just been inconsistent. There's no one there. The Rangers have just been a fluke all year. They're nowhere to be found, and this Astros team is just running away with the division. Kevin Moto saying the Astros will 100% trade, and I think that is true. They also have prospects ready to go. Can Smith could be one of them that's already been giving some playing time, showing that he is the future. But if they really want to win, they have to make a splash for a pitching because they are missing some big pieces in their rotation and that they desperately need. Yeah. Now, this Astro team just gets me upset because as an Angel fan, we've been MIA for the past decade because of this team. So, man, I just can't see them. I can't understand why they continue to win, but this is part of the game, man. This is their run right now. And as long as they don't face the Tigers in the playoffs, I think they're safe to say that there will be in the ALCS because I feel like AJ Hinch knows them better than no one. He understands that culture. He understands their upbringing. He's been there, done that. So if there's a guy that could beat them, it's the Tigers and AJ Hinch.
Yeah,
like they did last year.
You have Jack Flaherty that just won a World Series with the Dodgers, a little bit of that into that organization. And you have Javi Baez, a little bit of the Cubs organization into that mix. So that's why you get these guys and you sign them for long term because they have that experience with other teams that they can bring value to that organization. And Adrian Hinch, he knows how to coach. You said it. He said that he did it with the Astros. Now he's doing it with the Tigers, dude. There's no knowing what how good this team could possibly be in the future. This is just the beginning. They can
Yep.
be even better next year and the following year. So we'll wait for that to happen. But let's go into the East. The Mets are on a 3-game losing streak. You have the Phillies winning 4 in a row. They're
Hmm.
2.5. The Mets are 2.5 up on the Phillies.
Okay.
Trades. Who's gonna trade? Are the Mets gonna pull a trigger first, or are the Phillies gonna pull the trigger?
Oh man, I think the Phillies are gonna pull the trigger first. I think they desperately need more help than the Mets right now. I think the Mets they spend a lot of money this offseason signing that Juan Soto contract, and I think the Phillies are need to close their windows closing, so they definitely have to bring in players to bring up that spark for that team. They definitely
Yeah.
need some bullpen help. Losing Jordan. Sorry, I can't think of this guy, Jordan Alvarado.
Mm-hmm.
What's his first
Alvarado.
name? I can't remember his first name, but Alvarado went with the suspension. Jose Alvarado, sorry. Jose Alvarado heading that suspension and will be out for the playoffs. It's a huge blow for them. And Jordan Romano being their main closer is not the answer. So they desperately need him there. They need some bullpen help there.
Dude, I had a brain fart right there too. I'm like, what?
I called
Yeah,
him
Jose
Jordan, and
Alvarado.
then wait, it's Jose.
Yeah, it's
God
Jose
damn.
Alvarado. I was just like, wait, I'm kind of lost too. My bad. I should have fact checked right away. No, but we got it. It's good. I honestly think that the Mets, even though they're in first place, I just feel like that's gonna kind of run down a little bit. And I feel like the Phillies are gonna make that big trade that they need. They need a big bullpen guy. I still feel like that bullpen guy is out there. Who's available out there? I have no idea. Like I don't know who can be that. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna go get a top bullpen guy, but maybe someone that's a big name. I don't know, like a Kenley Jensen. If the Angels
Yeah.
decide to trade, they can go ahead and get after. He has experience. He's not the best pitcher, but sometimes a change of scenery, getting back into that playoff atmosphere stadium will pump him up. He's not doing bad with the Angels,
Not at all.
so that's what I'm saying. So they can go ahead and get him. I don't know if that's an option for the Phillies, but I believe he would do good for the Phillies. Now the Mets, like you said, that money. I don't
Mhm.
know, man. I don't see them making a big splash in a trade for a hitter or for whatever they're missing because they're playing good baseball, and Lindor has been pretty much the guy for the Mets. It's not Juan Soto. It's Lindor.
Yeah.
So we still haven't seen Juan Soto step it up, be the big player that he is. Or maybe that 270, 260 batting average is what we're expecting from Juan Soto. That's why they got him. They got him because he gets on base. His on base percentage is what has him with the big old freaking contract. So, yeah, that's the crazy thing. So, you still see the Mets winning the division, or do you still? Because I know we picked the
Yes.
Braves. I know we picked the Braves, but we just want to
You
clear
know,
it up.
I definitely think the Mets are still going to win this division. I just think the simple fact that they have more arms right now. I mean, obviously Kodai Senga went down this weekend with an injury, but they are getting Sean Manel back to be their 1-2 punch. And I think they just have a better bullpen, a build around lineup than the Phillies do right now. I think Bryce Harper missing in the lineup is a huge loss for the Phillies organization. And who knows how long he's going to be out. We do got Kevin saying there's a lot of bullpen available. You got David Bednar, Felix Bautista from the Orioles, Mason Miller, a flamethrower 100-mile guy that is available, possibly available, because this ace team, he doesn't get a lot of opportunities to pitch.
Yeah.
They've been losing a lot of games, so the guy is just there waiting to get called up, and it feels like a week passes by before he gets to pitch sometimes. But man, this is good for the Mets. They're built to win. They do have Juan Soto that has underperformed, but now wait till he does perform. It is
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Wait till he gets his A game going on, and with Frankie Lindor and Mark Vientos has also had an off year. But you got small role players like Nimmo, guys that just continue to prove time and time that they're there. Tyron Taylor, they got pieces.
Yeah.
Pete Alonso. I mean, look at the guy. He's performed really well. There was this whole thing that should they bring him back, but he's been a great pickup after all. So
Dude.
I think this Mets team is just built to win from 1 to 9, and I think this Phillies team is just a little bit past their prime right now with no Bryce Harper, no Jose Alvarado in the bullpen. It's just kind of concerning for me. Sorry, John Murrow, if you're listening out there, my bad, man. I'm not trying to talk bad about your Phillies, but that window is closing, and if they don't win this year, I don't know what's going to happen for the future.
So this is what I feel about the Mets. I feel like the Mets, they're okay. They don't need to make a big splash trade. I believe they need to do I don't know. continue to keep playing, because remember, this is not the team that we saw last year. There's more improvement. There's better lineup than what they did last year. They went all the way to the NLCS last year without Juan Soto.
Mhm.
So with Juan Soto now, you're talking about them possibly even making it a little deeper, maybe World Series. That's what they're aspiring to, right?
Mhm.
But the Phillies, to me, if they make that bullpen a little bit stronger and they get that reignition that they need in that bullpen, they'll be fine. I think they'll be able to win the division if they do that. Now, with the Phillies, is that the window is closing, but they have so much potential, dude. Like they're an all-star team. They're a big time all-star team. A lot of people are not talking about it. They created that monster team before the Dodgers even signed Shohei Ohtani, before the Padres even decided to get into the mix, before the Yankees decided to start spending money on their players. Like current baseball, not all the way back then. But you have these team. This team is a monster team. So it's like I do see it battling that first place, and I'll take the edge with the Phillies winning the
Ooh.
division, dude. I
Okay.
do take it. Yeah.
I mean, they do have the greatest pitching rotation in baseball. I mean, I
Yeah.
know Aaron Nola's out right now, but he'll be back. Zach Wheeler, who did announce he will retire in 2027. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm saying the window's closing. You got Ranger Suarez, Jesus Luzardo, Christopher Sanchez, and they got Mick Abel. Man, they just have arms for days. And it's just like, man, if this team could just get it together and their bats and pitching, this is a dangerous World Series team that could win for years. And somehow they've fallen short. We've not seen them win. They've come
Yeah.
close, but cannot deliver for the city of Philadelphia.
Cool. All right. Let's move on to the AL East, dude. We talked a little bit about the Red Sox, and I think we talked about a lot about the Red Sox. We didn't talk about the Yankees getting swept with the against the Red Sox. You did bring it up, and I want to go ahead and ask: are the Yankees winning the AL East?
Well, I mean, they were the favorites 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, now the Red Sox have beaten them 5 out of 6 games. But if you're a Yankee fan, I think you're excited. You can't believe that Rafi Devers just got traded to the Giants. You no longer have to worry about this guy. He's been tormenting your team for years. And if you're a Yankee fan right now, I think you're celebrating for the rest of the year because this was a huge loss for this Red Sox team. And I think that's why the Yankees feel confident enough that they could win this division,
Yeah.
even though the Rays and Blue Jays have been playing much better baseball too. So, I mean, right now it seems like the Yankees are the favorites, but don't, like you said, baseball's an interesting game and it could
Mhm.
humble you real quick. Don't
Yeah.
be surprised if this Rays and Blue Jays team come around in August are fighting for a little position for first for that
Yeah.
AL East.
That's true. But don't I just feel like maybe them losing Devers, I mean Red Sox losing Devers can be motivating for the Yankees. I mean, maybe the Red Sox own the Yankees this year, and it just happens like that in baseball. Do I
Mhm.
see them winning the division? I don't see the Blue Jays stepping up anytime soon. The Orioles have been playing great baseball as of
Yeah.
late, but then they're going down, and so we don't know what's going on with them. The Rays have been consistent, to where they win 3, they lose 3, and then they win a series, they win 2 series, they lose a series. So it's just that's what we're expecting from the
Well,
Rays. So, yeah,
I,
right?
I just want to let you know the Rays are only 3.5 games back of the Yankees right now.
Yeah.
To starting today.
Since
Now,
starting today.
which is not bad.
No,
This
it's
is
not.
really, really good. This Rays pitching staff is awesome. They continue to develop arms like no other. You know, Taj Bradley, Shane Boss, Ryan Pepio, they have the arms to continue winning. And they've proven success with Kevin Cash there. Their analytics are amazing. He proves time and time again that they find ways to win. Junior Caminero is becoming a stud, hitting his 17 home run yesterday. Junior James Caballero also looks great and promising. Meisner, John D. Diaz, man, the team just continues to surprise me. Look, if I had to choose a second team to root for, it would be the Rays.
The Rays?
I just really appreciate they're really underdogs. They never talked about. They're just always a team like, they suck. No, they're always in the playoff mix. And this is a team that continues to prove time and time again why they have a success rate of winning. I mean, they were just in the World Series in 2020 and shocked the world. Now, this Blue Jays team has potential to be the greatest team too.
Yeah. They
They've
do.
let us down the past couple seasons. Right now, there are 5 games above 500. They're 4.5 back from first. But Blatty haven't been the guy they need him to be. And wait till he does start raking. Once it starts getting warmer in Toronto, I think he's going to find himself delivering a lot of bombs for them. They have guys like You know, Bo Bichet's still in the mix. Don't forget about him. They still have a pretty good pitching staff, man. They continue to prove that they still have some arms. Jeff Hoffman was a big signing for them in the offseason. They did miss some big free agent signings, and that's why I think why this team falls short. But that they could be a wild card team, that's no excuse for them. They should be a wild card team as well.
You don't see them trying to win the division. It's close. It's really close. I just see the. Do you see the Rays? I know you said that's a team you could root for. Do you see them overtaking the Yankees? Because they have some tough matchups when they face each other, and they have these little things of hitting the batter, and they're trying to create that rivalry where you kind of see that the Rays are not letting down. They're not going to put their arms down and their bats down when they face the Yankees. They go up and they play good baseball against the Yankees. And it seems like they're always back and forward in those series.
And you know, yeah, they're going to fight back, especially because they're playing in George Steinbrenner Field. They're like, thank you for buying us a field, but we're going to take advantage of that. And we're going to demolish you right here in your minor league facility. So don't worry. I think the Rays are going to fight tough, and they want to win. And Kevin Cash hates the Yankees. Just throwing that out there.
I know he does.
I think he's ready to punch Aaron Boone every time they face each other. That's the matchup I want to see, a Kevin Cash versus Aaron Boone UFC type fight. Who wins that one?
UFC type fight? Oh, damn, I'd rather see that on the field. You get going at it, screaming at each other. You know, Aaron Boone is not one to let down and not shy away from a fight. Every time you see him out there arguing again with the umpires, and if the other bench or the other coach is talking crap, he talks crap back. And that's the type of manager the Yankees need. But do I see the Rays winning that division? I don't. Only because I think the Yankees are going to make a huge trade, and it's going to be one that you're like, what? How they do that? So that's pretty crazy in itself. All right, the last one, NL West. We talked about it, but we didn't talk who's winning division currently, and who do you got? Are the Dodgers going to be enough? Are they going to have enough to win it throughout the whole year?
I think they just are. I mean, it's inevitable. The Dodgers will find a way to just win the division, no matter what. I think the Giants and Padres will be in the mix, but they will continue just to win when they have to make sure they lock in that division. Tony, man, I get this every day, bro. They tell me to join the dark side, come to the Dodgers. I mean, I would have done it already if I really wanted to, but you know, I'll still support you guys, Dodger fans. I know so many Dodger fans. I always wish the best for you guys. I'll support LA. You know, I am from LA, born and raised here. So good for the Dodgers that they won last year. Good for them. But I think this year it's time for a new team. I just can't watch it back to back.
That's history in the making. If they win back to back, they haven't done it since the Yankees did it in 98, 99, and 2000.
Right.
They did a three-peat.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's
been a long time in the game of baseball since we last seen a back to back. And with the pitching woes of the Dodgers right now, I don't see them winning the World Series, but I do see them winning the division. I mean, they still have a top 1-9 lineup that it's impossible to beat these days. No matter who you put out there, this Dodger lineup could get hot any moment. And the pitching, well, yes, it's banged up, but they're going to be bringing arms back pretty soon. I mean, Blake Snell's going to find a way to pitch. Tyler Glasnow will pitch sooner or later. And Shohei Ohtani finally being there is going to be great for them. And it's a guy that's going to lock it down for a while. So if you're a Dodger fan right now, you should be excited that Ohtani's returning tonight. You know, it's only the start of a new phase for him in the Dodger uniform. Why he's going to show you why he deserved that $700 million deal and why he is the best player in baseball.
Dude, and not that the Dodgers need it or maybe they look like they're lost out there. They're not. It's just, you know, this is a booster too. It's a big time booster for the Dodgers, just knowing that Shohei Ohtani is going to pitch. And they're going to get to see his full display on the field. We're going to get to see him bat and pitch. And that's what a lot of Dodger fans are waiting for. Now imagine that's a teammate and that's a baseball player. You're going to get to see that firsthand. And you're going to get to see like, dang, I missed on Babe Ruth, but now I'm seeing Shohei Ohtani and I play with this guy. So that's a booster in itself. And they're Ohtani's facing the Padres, a team that is desperately trying to hang on and trying to see what is it that they need to do to build their team better for the future and for this year. Because if they're going to go at it, they need to go and get that Jarren Duran trade that they've been talking about.
Oof, that would be nice.
That'll be crazy. Now that the Red Sox are letting go of their players, is he going to be in the market? And now the Padres are sitting beautifully in that office saying, hey, I got a trade for you. Let's work a deal out. And is that going to be enough? We don't know.
It looks
Change the
like it's going to
scenery.
happen now, right? After this Rafael Devers, it looking like a huge possibility that this is definitely going to happen. Jarren Duran is from Chula Vista. He's a SoCal type kid, born and raised here. We would be excited to come home. And like I said last week, I think the Red Sox are going to talk to Jarren Duran, sit with him in the office. They're going to ask him, hey, what do you want? We're looking into growing our future. You're already a little bit older. Not sure we could pay you this big contract. We're probably just going to ship you out to San Diego where you could be close to home and get paid your big bucks like you deserve. And be stacked with a lineup like Merle and Tatis there. And I think he's going to say, yes, take me there. Who wouldn't want to leave to go back home and get paid money?
True. And possibly become one of the top outfielders in MLB, dude. Because if you put Jarren Duran out there with Jackson Merrill and Tatis, to me, looking at it, is the best outfielder.
Outfielder. Right? And that happens. Is the Padres a favorite to win the division now?
Damn. Dude,
put you on the spot now.
That's a tough one. Why? Because that team has always been making big trades, and look how they fall short. They can't get over that hump and get over who's leading that team. Is it Tatis? Is it Machado? They're still trying to find that. They're still trying to find themselves after 6-7 years already being together. Like, what's going on in San Diego that they can't get that together? They let go of Bob Melvin because he got tired of it. He just doesn't know, and it hasn't come out. Like, seriously, it hasn't come out in the media or anywhere what happened to the Padres. They make the playoffs one year, they fall short in the next year. So it's a trend that is happening. So that trend this year, if we go through those trends at 5 years into this, dude, they're not making the playoffs this year if it continues that way. Now, you get Jarren Duran. Is that a booster? They got Juan Soto. It was a booster, but did it pan out? No. So they can go ahead and get whoever they want. They need a leader in that freaking clubhouse. We don't know who it is. We don't know if Tatis and Machado. Remember, 3 weeks ago there was an incident that they were questioning the leadership in that clubhouse, and it's crazy to me that you have 2 superstars there, possibly 3, 4. You have a bunch of players that can lead that team. You know, you have, I don't know, dude. Do they become favorite? They become one of the favorites because you still have the Giants in that mix. They made a big splash yesterday with Devers. We talked about it at the beginning of the show. And the Dodgers, like I said, they get that pitching going. To me, there's no doubt the Dodgers are going to win that division, possibly the World Series if they go ahead and get their starting rotation back. But the Padres, dude, they just need to figure it out in that leadership role, dude. So, but if it happens, it'll be great. I would love to see Duran with the Padres because that just makes the division better. It makes the West Coast stand out a lot more. And we need more World Series on this side of the world, man. Everything's out in the East Coast. So,
we definitely do.
As much as you don't want the Astros, the Astros represent the West, right? Because they're in the West Division. As much as you don't appreciate all those things, if you're a fan of the West Coast baseball, like you want more World Series out here, we do need the Padres to win one. We need the Mariners to win one, the Rockies to win one. Those are 3 teams that, they haven't won a World Series, and the Mariners have never been in a World Series. So we want to see that. We want to see that. Right. So I would like that trade, dude. I would like it.
Well, I just want to say, I love the trade. I think it would be a brick spark for this Padres team that they desperately need to make the World Series. I think he could be that answer they need. Obviously the Juan Soto Tatis deal didn't work out, but you got to think about it. They had huge egos. Their personalities were a little different. And I think Jarren Duran is just that type of kid that just wants to win and just wants to be a star player. He just wants to come back home. And, he had a tough backstory with the offseason coming out, sharing his story. And I think him coming home, being in a winning environment would change that for him. But since you mentioned about we need more West Coast teams in the World Series, let me propose this for you. Have you seen the NBA and how does that work out? They have 2 major conferences. They have a Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. And this gives the NBA a chance to have one team from one side and another team from the other side. If that was to happen in the MLB, would you like that?
Hell yeah, we'll be the strongest baseball. Look, right now the West Coast, this side of the town of baseball, to me, is the best baseball played. Not knocking on the East Coast teams. There's still good East Coast teams, but you have more of them out here in the West Coast. If that happens to where it's like basketball, where we have an East and West, I think the rivalry will be bigger than what it is now, dude. Because now you're having the East versus West type of deal. You have the Central team splitting at the middle. either going east or going west. But I think that'll be a crazy thing, dude, if they do
It's not
decide
going
to
to
do
happen.
that.
Obviously, it's not going to happen. MLB is too old school. Rob Manfred is making some changes to the game. I mean, we give him props. He's gotten a lot of backlash ever since that 2017 scandal, the way he handled it. But he's definitely trying ways to change the game and bring a younger generation and continue to grow the game. Now, Kevin Moda saying it'd probably be too much to trade for him, for Jarren Duran. Padres will probably have to give up pitching like Dylan Cease or something maybe. Young guys would do it, but too much control on Durant contract. And that is totally true. This is why when we first heard this rumor, I think the whole MLB world was probably like, heck no, this cannot possibly happen. Where the Padres going to get this money from to pay him in the future? But if you know AJ Preller, he's going to do anything he can to win. And he also hates the Dodgers.
Yeah.
He wants to win bad. So
Yeah.
AJ Preller always making some sneaky trades that changes the game, but it's possible. They have to get rid of Dylan Cease. I think that's okay. I mean, Dylan Cease is a great pitcher, all-star caliber pitcher, but he's always been missing a couple pieces for him to be that true ace that the Padres need. And I feel like Michael King is that answer that Dylan Cease does not provide.
True. I got a question for you, though. Do you feel like maybe this trade with the Giants sparked something up under AJ Preller's ass to say, I have to do something? Or
No, definitely.
Are they okay the way they are right now? I see that team and I say, you don't need to make trades a big splash because you already have your players there. And that's just me speaking, dude. I'm just saying, like, the Padres have been good, just like the Dodgers. I don't think the Dodgers need to go out and trade anybody unless their pitching is not coming back. So,
I mean, you could always see the extra arms. And I think I've had talk times and time again how their bullpen for me is not the answer for me. They started the year great, but now it's starting to find its way. Like, it's getting tagged up. You saw this weekend against the Diamondbacks, giving up 4 runs and losing the matchup. So if you could use some bullpen arms, like I think Kevin Moda mentioned early in the show, Mason Miller's available, Felix Bautista, got to get a big name guy like that to close out your games. Because Robert Suarez is good, but I don't think he's a true answer for this playoff run that you need to win games.
Dude, and he gave up 5 runs to lose against the Diamondbacks after they were winning. The Padres were winning in the 9th. And that was like when I saw, I was like, what? How the hell Robert Suarez gave up 5 runs? Like, damn, that's a lot for a guy that I know that has been, pitching really good. Sometimes it happens, but I was surprised when I saw it, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I thought, oh, the Padres already won. They got it. And I looked at the score and later on, I'm like, what? How the hell did they come back? So
the beauty of baseball, man, it could happen any moment. Those 9th innings are always dangerous. No lead is never too safe. I was just watching a highlight of the Angels overcoming a 6-run deficit in the 9th, and we came back to win when Albert Pujols was in the lineup. I mean, I'm just watching good old memories, trying to memorize those good winning days with the Angels, but it's been a long time, Carlos, and that's baseball for you. It's baseball for you, and it humbles you real quick, and this game could continuously just change in a span of a minute. But thank you guys for having us today. I know we joined on Monday morning, probably change your routines, but we're here to talk baseball, and thank you guys for joining us today. If you like what we have here, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. We're here every Sunday or Monday night, but we try our best to be here on a weekly basis to provide the hottest, latest takes on baseball.
Yep. I'll just give a little bit of what's happening this week. The Dodgers, Padres, that rivalry still happening. 4-game skid out in Los Angeles, of course. Shohei Ohtani is going to pitch today. And then you looking to see if Logan Gilbert is going to pitch really good. So he's coming back. If you have him on your fantasy team, don't forget to get him out of your IL and put him into your starting rotation. I shouldn't even be saying that. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of good baseball going on. Rivalry weeks happened last week, which was fun. And trades are just one of those things where we see a gift under the Christmas tree. We just want to open it and see what's going to happen next, right? So hopefully we get to see more stuff happening this way. But thank you guys, like Ernie said, for tuning in. If you guys want to hit that like button, we really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's going to be amazing, dude. It's going to be a great freaking season, and I can't wait to get to the trading deadline and talk baseball.
For sure. We definitely have some exciting weeks coming up. We have the All-Star week coming up, trade deadline, and then that August-September run where these wild card runs go crazy. So stay tuned. We'll be watching baseball all year round, and we'll be here to provide you the hottest news that's possibly happening in the game right now.
Sweet. All right. From all of us here on Real Talk Baseball on CarloBaseball, this is Ernie Orange. Real Talk Baseball. Signing out.